When you hear the word Nibbāna, what comes to mind? For a lot of us, it's, well, nothing, right? An empty void, maybe the end of the line. But what if that's just a huge misunderstanding? What if Nibbāna isn't about what's missing, but about a profound presence we've just been describing with all the wrong words? Let's dive in.
And that's really the central question we're going to tackle. We're going to challenge that whole idea of Nibbāna is just oblivion. Instead, we'll explore a totally different interpretation, one that's rooted in its original language and, clarified with some modern analogies that might just make it all click.
So to really get to the heart of Nibbāna, we have to go way back. I'm talking back to the original Pali word itself. It turns out the answer has kind of been hiding in plain sight, or maybe plain sound, this entire time. Okay, so let's start with a completely fresh definition. For just a moment, forget everything you've heard about extinction or nothingness. Think of Nibbāna like this. It's the cool, quiet, original landscape that's revealed once the flames of craving and reactivity finally run out of fuel. See, it's not about destroying the landscape. It's just about clearing away the smoke so you can finally see what was there all along.
And what's so cool is that the word itself tells the whole story. It's actually a compound of two Pali roots, Ni and Vana. And once you understand these two parts, the entire concept becomes so much clearer.
So let's break it down. Ni is pretty straightforward. It's a prefix that means things like out, away from, or not. But Vana, that's where it gets really interesting. It means blowing, like a restless wind or a flickering fire. But it also means weaving, which gives you this powerful image of the tangled web of our desires. It's the energy of craving that gets us all knotted up. So put them together, Nibbāna literally means to be away from that flickering, entangling fire.
And you see, this completely redefines the goal. It's not about annihilation or wiping yourself out. It's about reaching a state of perfect, cool equilibrium, a serene stillness.
This really gets to the heart of it. Think of your mind as a kind of system. When it's full of craving and aversion, it's running hot, right? There's all this friction. Nibbāna is simply the restoration of that system to its factory settings. Its most efficient, quiet, and normal state, with absolutely no wasted energy.
Now, I know this can all feel a little abstract, so to make it way more concrete, we're going to look at 4 powerful analogies that can bring this concept right into our everyday experience.
First up, the extinguished candle. Now, the key here isn't the fact that the flame is gone, it's about what is left in its place. This illustrates the point perfectly. The flame, that was the agitation, the heat, the anxiety. When the fuel of attachment runs out, what remains isn't a void. It's the peace, the coolness, the serenity that was always there, just overshadowed by the flame. It's a state of complete rest.
All right, analogy number 2 is the cooled server. Just picture a server that's been processing massive amounts of data, the fans are screaming, heat is just pouring out of it, and then the job is done. Now the server isn't off. That is the crucial part. It's in a perfect state of readiness. It's alive. In Pali, this is called amata, which means deathless. But it's under zero load. No heat, no noise. And in this state of perfect stability, no errors, or what we might call suffering, can possibly arise. Our third analogy is one you've probably heard before, the eye of the storm. In the very center of the most violent hurricane, there's a place of absolute, unshakable calm. The world outside can be completely chaotic. We all know that. But Nibbāna is the discovery of an unshakable, immovable center within you that is totally untouched by all that external chaos. It's a peace that isn't dependent on conditions. And for our last analogy, we're going to bring it right back to that original meaning of Vana. Let's talk about the untangled thread. Remember how Vana can mean weaving or entanglement? Well, this is the feeling of that tight knot of reactivity and craving finally being unraveled. It's not about adding anything new, but restoring the thread's original state, completely free, light, and unburdened.
So what does all this mean for us? The path to Nibbāna, which the Buddha called the highest happiness, isn't a path of accumulation. It's a path of subtraction. It's about letting go.
We spend most of our lives trying to find happiness by adding things. New experiences, new possessions, you name it. But that kind of happiness is always temporary. The Pali word is anicca, meaning impermanent, because the conditions that create it will always change. Nibbāna, on the other hand, is the happiness that comes from removing the cause of suffering, that vana, that fire. And because the cause is gone for good, the resulting peace is permanent, amata, deathless. And here's the most empowering part of all this.
You can actually taste Nibbāna right now. It's really just a 3-step process. First, just notice the heat of a reaction in your mind, a flash of anger, a pang of craving. Second, consciously practice cooling it down. This is called viraga in Pali. It basically means letting go of the reaction. And third, just rest in the cool, quiet peace that's revealed when that heat subsides.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The fires of reactivity only burn as long as we keep feeding them. So knowing that a cool, serene peace is always waiting right there underneath, what fuel are you ready to stop adding to the fire?